Joining us at this point is Dr. M.J. Khan, President IMPAR. We also have Major Mohommed Ali Shah, media panelist IMPAR, joining us live. Sumit Peer, political commentator, is also live with us. Desharatningam, political analyst, also joins the broadcast. Is the problem here, Major Mohommed Ali Shah, a particular religious community dominating the trade, or is the problem the issue, Mohommed Ali Shah, of profiteering by middlemen, which perhaps needs to be cracked down, whichever community they may be from?
Exactly, Uday. The trouble is, unfortunately, this time, Ramzan and Navratri are together at the same time. So, unfortunately, a lot of people are trying to politicize on that and capitalize on that. And us pe apni rotiyan sek rahe hain. So, that should not be the case at all. It is India, it's a secular country. We all live in harmony. We all, today, you don't call us to a channel because I'm a Muslim or I'm a Hindu or anything. You just see the capability. Similarly, the gross product of any product should not be seen like because a Muslim or a Hindu is manufacturing. It's based on demand and supply, period. Irrespective, whether it's Navratri Ramzan, who is the consumer, who is the buyer, who is the manufacturer. I remember 2.5 years back, Uday, there was a Zomato home delivery guy. He was refused. He was sent out by a person by saying that, oh, you're a Muslim. We do not take goods from a Muslim. Please go back. So, at that time, does anyone see that the farmer who's growing the grains is a Hindu or a Muslim? Where it's been manufactured, where it's been product, where it's been packed? No one sees that. So, as you rightly said, irrespective of the community, everyone has a right. If I'm a businessman, I have every right to put whatever price I want to on my product as far as I'm manufacturing it, depending on the demand and supply. And when the demand and supply can go up in festival times, it can go down of certain products. Without naming any products, it can be of anything. So it should be taken as a very balanced view, and instead of letting people politicize on it and playing up on it, we should have a very balanced stand as mature Indians to come forward and say, okay,
yes,
irrespective of your community, we respect people who are entrepreneurs, and let's go ahead with it.
Okay. Major Mohommed Ali Shah, come in here. React to the points made earlier by Mr. Nigam and Sumit Peer Mohammed. And do you believe such a circular was needed, or could it have just opened a Pandora's box?
Uday, before that, I'll just give you a small anecdote. Just 3 days back, when the Ramadan started, the first day, one of our family friends gave us a call. And they said, our maid is a Muslim. Is it okay if we ask her to make tea? I was like, yeah, why? Why can't you ask her to make tea? So he's like, no, because you're fasting now, so she would be having a roda. I said, so, don't think that way. The work is work. So she has to work. There's no problem in that. So of course you can. They say, oh, okay, then that doubt was clarified. So now I think a leave has to be a leave. And there are times, the stuntsmen in Bombay, in the film industry, I have done a few films and I have seen them in Ramzan working and putting their life at stake. And they work. On empty stomach. There's no excuse that, oh, you are empty stomach. That's a very personal, see, faith, religion is a very, very personal thing. It's between myself and my maker and nobody else. So, if I'm fasting, I'm not fasting today for a medical reason. Otherwise, generally, I fast. And when I fast, and I find my efficiency at work also to be good. It is good because I am concentrating on my work completely. So, actually, both can be, as Mr. Khan said, even his thing makes sense that, okay, I will not break. It makes no sense for me taking 1 hour of break for lunch. Need not take. And even if it's between the employer and the employee completely. If the employee has no problem at all, and if the employer is performing, ultimately it comes to performance, right? There are companies which are 2 punch and 1 lunch. You punch in, spend 8 hours, and you punch out. There are such companies. My friends tell me that, oh my God, I worked in the corporate sector after I left the army and after I did my hands. So there were people who punch in 8 hours, but what is the productivity? There's no productivity. On the other hand, we found even in the pandemic, people who are working from home, the productivity went up. There was a lot which could be produced. So, as Mr. Khan said, yes, that can be considered. That can be one option. And the other option is, as Sumit also said, yes, there should be stipulated amount of leaves. That these many leaves in this many year, whatever reason, sick leave keeping aside, sick leave is totally different. It's a medical emergency contingency. But apart from that, yes, these many leaves, You want to go enjoy, go for a holiday, you want to do what you want with it, do it. Within your means, it has to be kept in a very, very personal thing over there.
Major Mohommed Ali Shah, you there with us?
Yes, Uday, I can hear you. Loud and
Major
clear.
Mohommed Ali Shah, let me quickly bring you in here on this order. Your first reaction to it, why you believe it's been issued?
Uday, honestly speaking, both Navratri and Ramzan, both are very, very important festivals for the respective communities. There's no denying that. There's no doubt about that. And so far, so many years, we have been coexisting in peace and harmony, and we never had such an issue ever. Now, when people try to politicize on that, that is when a rift comes in unnecessarily uncalled for completely, and there can be a workable solution to it, provided people want to work out a solution to that. Unnecessarily, banning something or, just for some sadistic pleasure or because there are going to be repercussions, there are going to be reactions on that. There will be people who would be disgruntled. So it can be totally worked out amicably. There is no problem in this world that cannot be solved today, provided you actually genuinely wish to solve it. But if you do not want to solve a problem, you can aggravate it further and cause further damage. So I think it's totally unnecessary. And all these years, what happened? All these years, these rulings were not there. All these years, there was no issue altogether. In fact, I have, in the army on Eid, my friends used to wish me, and my Jawans would wish me, Ram Sahab, Eid Mubarak. That is the way how I used to be wished in the army. And I miss my army days. We should learn from the army where nothing like this ever happens. It's the most secular organization. There is a place in Devlali, in Nasik rather, at the artillery center, where on one square there is a temple, a mosque, a church, and a gurdwara, the same place. And in the army, the religion was only one, which was the nation first, always and every time. Our religion was the religion of our troops. As simple as that. There was no Hindu, there was no Muslim, there was no casteism. For example, I was in the Rajput regiment. I followed the tradition of the Rajputs. I, in fact, grew a big mustache. I would be with them. I would do jhatka on every Dashera, and I take pride in that. In fact, my Jawans were more concerned for me. They would say, Sahab, aapka kal roza hai. Rather, I didn't see any discrimination there. I rather saw a different kind of they were all very, very helpful towards me. Sahab, aapka kal roza hai. Aap subah ko 4 baje uthenge. We will get you this for food. And they would ring their bell early morning. And that is the kind of communal harmony I have been groomed in. And I really do not understand why we as Indians all together can follow the same philosophy that the army follows. Very secular, all the religions are respected, we all coexist in peace and harmony. My neighbors over there, they are the first ones to actually always come and wish us on Eid. We are always the first ones to go and wish them on Diwali, on Holi, and never has there been any issue. No one has been very touchy, and unnecessarily, if you poke somebody, then a religious divide can come in, which can be very, very dangerous for the future generations over there.
Mohommed Ali Shah, respond.
Uday, you'll be surprised to know that I am a vegetarian over there. I don't eat non-veg. Though I am Mohommed Ali Shah, everyone's very surprised. When we go to someone's house for a party, they all cook the best of non-veg, and then they realize, oh, you're a vegetarian. I don't drink either. I'm a teetotaler. So you're an army man, you don't drink. You're a Muslim. You're a veg. Yes, I am, and I have both those things on me. Well, I tell them, I don't have minor vices, I have major vices. I joke with them. Uday, I was posted in Nagaland for 3 years. And Nagaland, the society over there is hardcore non-veg. They, in Muslim religion, leave alone, I'm not talking about mutton, even chicken or fish I do not eat. So let's talk about in Nagaland, where they say everything that Nagas eat. Well, I don't know about that, but they definitely used to eat pork, and not all the tribes eat dogs. I'm a dog lover. We have pets at home. We have dogs, we have cats. Now we have to fend for meat for our pets also, because these are not vegetarian. They are not omnivorous pets. They are carnivores basically. So now in Nagaland, in a society on the same table where people are actually eating, I'm a dog lover. Having a dog or a pork, I've sat on the same table with them, and I've had their vegetarian food, and they've had their respective non-vegetarian food, and we have existed together. There was never a problem. There was never a problem, provided how I see it as. Now, people might say, oh, it's not because of your religion. No, it's not about religion. It's a person's choice. as Sumit said, yes, he's right. When people see a vegetarian person, even like me, when I see a bakra hanging, I don't feel good about it. I'll be very honest. I personally don't feel good about it, but it is their choice. A butcher has to earn his living. Everyone has to earn their living at the end of the day. But yes, so what I do at that time when I am crossing a butcher shop, or if I have to cater for meat for my pets, when I myself don't eat meat, I turn my face around. I don't really look over there. I kind of get a not a very good feeling on that. But again, it can be worked out over there. When a vegetarian can sit with the Nagas on a table where they are having their hardcore non-veg food, and because that is the bonding that I shared with them, because I could overlook all that. I said, okay, I am not eating pork, I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that, I am not even eating chicken for that, or prawn for that matter. So it's okay, it's perfectly fine. And I could in fact sustain that because I wanted to do that. If I felt, no, I will not come near you, you are eating something which I do not approve of. I have been in a company of people who, I'm a Muslim, and I don't drink, not because I'm a Muslim, but I don't drink out of choice. But I have been in company in a party where people have all been sloshed, and I am the one driving them back home because they're all drunk. But that does not mean I am indulging in those activities. It's up to a person's choice. It's an individual's decision completely. And I think it is up to us, if we wish that, okay, we can be in a company where people are eating non-veg and we can sustain from it. We can abstain from it.
Which is why, Sumit, choices should be left to individuals. Mohammed Ali Shah, let me draw you in here on, this call for ban of loudspeakers broadcasting azan. We saw it first in Maharashtra. It's now being seen in Karnataka too. How do you react to these ban calls and the point that Sumit made earlier?
It's basic human psychology. If I say, don't take this, and if I advise you, you probably would listen to me. Or when I give an order that, okay, do not take this, then it gives a reaction to the other person. That's a human tendency. Oh, what's that? Why that kind of a reaction? So it's as simple as that. And I think minority in anywhere, in any country, or even in a class, it's not about minority community. Anybody who's on the minority side should know how to conduct themselves with the majority. Majority also should know how to conduct themselves with the minority. And both have to coexist together. Now when we come to loudspeakers there, the whole purpose of an azan is to call for prayer. That it is an announcement for prayer, but that does not mean that you go on top of a loudspeaker and then you announce prayer, because the prayer time, the 5 prayers, right from starting in the morning, Fajr, Zohar, Maghrib, Isha, all of them are timed. They are stipulated time for that. That is time pe, Fajr hoi, is time pe. So people already know those timings. So people, when they come for those timings, that they already know, it's perfectly fine. It's a customary drill which can be done away without a loudspeaker over there. It's not compulsory. Nowhere it says it has to be done on a loudspeaker. Hazrat Bilal, one of our very sacred Maulvi, in fact, in Mecca Masjid, in the main masjid, in the Haram Sharif, he never used to give he used to give the most people adhan. He's known for adhan, in fact. He didn't give it through a loudspeaker. The volume of the azan does not really matter much. The way you do the azan, that really matters. So it is perfectly fine where, I'm not talking about the ban. The ban, see, you cannot dictate what to eat, what to wear, what to do, where not to do. That's a person's individual choice. But now, having said that, it can be done. If I tell you, if I come boss over you and say, you will also not listen to me. But if I talk to you politely and if I try to make you understand the logic, and when I make you understand the logic, even a small child, for that matter, if you make them understand the logic, tell them to behave themselves, they will behave themselves. However brat, however brash, however naughty they are. It is as simple as putting a point across in a very mature and a balanced way. That's all that matters. It's as simple as that. And I'm telling you, I have seen mosques where they have been advised, the imams, the Maulvis, do not use a loudspeaker. There have been no opposition there. I can quote many mosques like that. There have been no opposition. Why? Because those imams, those Maulvis were called, they were made to understand, and they saw the sense in it. If you start fighting on it, then it will only lead to further communal tensions, and it would become really very bad with it.
Mohammed Ali Shah.
I agree with Sumit that it's not just for Muslims not having a loudspeaker for Adhan. It's for all religions. If it causes disturbance for anybody, it should be respected and honored. It's not that, I am creating disturbance for you, but I am adamant, no, my religion. But religion is a very personal thing. It's a very personal matter. And God is everywhere and God is watching you. It's the intention. God is not seeing that, okay, if you are, it's like, deen mein daari hai, daari mein deen nahi. It's like, haram ki kamai jeb mein rakh ke pahunche hum halal ka gosht dhoondne ke liye. No, it's like, you have to be a pious person by heart. You have to be God-fearing by heart. It is not that, I will please God if I do this, but I can be the biggest criminal I have to. No, it is you have to have a good intent, a good clean mind. You have to be a good human being first. And all the religions say the same thing. They all teach the same about humanity. They all teach about peace. They all teach about charity. They all teach about bhaichara. They all teach about the same thing. So at the end of the day, we have to understand one thing, that it's a very, very personal matter. The moment you start wearing religion on your sleeves, okay, I'm a Muslim, so I have to, it is sunnah to keep a beard and to wear a cap and to not have a mustache. Tomorrow if I come before you with a big beard and without a mustache and a cap, though a person might feel that what's wrong with him, but he cannot say anything. Similarly, suddenly, all of a sudden a person was very balanced. But suddenly you find him coming with a lot of tilaks and a lot of this thing and a lot of malas and wearing saffron clothes, a person will feel this thing. It is human psychology and that should not be there. That should not be there, because I said a religion is a person's personal belief. In the army again, why I give the army example is again, I have seen my father being a Muslim officer. Now I say Muslim officer now in this debate, we never thought of his identity as a Muslim officer, rising to the second highest rank of the country of the Indian Army, being the deputy chief of the army staff, because no one in the army saw his religion. They all saw his capability, what he's capable of delivering and how useful he would be for the country's army.
We're going to have to leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.